Here is our jack lift from last time. This is the assembly, and I've given the parts some colors to contrast them. So our base is yellow, the wedge is orange, and the wedge screw is green. And here is our assembly. So we're going to now create a presentation file. So we'll go up here and click presentation and create view. Most likely this has already selected our assembly file. I'm going to grab it here. I have a 2 at the end of mine. Yours won't have that. We're going to use the manual method to explode it, and so we'll just put it in there. First thing I want to do is make my tweaks. So I'm going to turn this over here, and I am going to come up here and open up the tweak component window, and I'm going to select, I have direction selected, so I can click here and you can see the Z direction goes out along the axis of the screw. That's the direction I want to go, and I want to go 9 inches, and out it pops. Okay, and so for my next one, which will be the wedge to tweak, I'm going to click direction again, and click on the wedge, and I'm also going to select 9. So out it pops, and then close. So if I go back to isometric view, we see it looks like this, and then we can of course animate it so that we see how everything comes together. Let's cancel there, and I'm going to save that as with that name. Save. I do want to replace it. I did a practice run of this before making the video, so there it is. Okay, so what can we do with this? Well, the animation clearly shows how the part goes together in this simple case, but we want to make an assembly drawing, so I'm going to come up here to the big I, new, select our Grizzly EDP 2014 template as usual, create, skip all, and then I'm prompted for the information. Jack lift, assignment name, jack lift assembly drawing, periods 3 and 5. Today is 04/14/2016, and then my initials. Okay, so we've got our palette in which to place a view, and the base view we're going to choose is, the default is the front, and I don't think we're going to choose the front. We're going to use the current one, and my graphics card is struggling to keep up, but it's going to look something like this. And as you can see, it's scaled it down automatically to 1/4 because we're putting this on an A-size piece of paper. That's okay, so we'll left click, right click, OK. Now I would like to have some color here to contrast the parts, and there we have it. Now, we don't want to end there. We want to tell the user who has this drawing some information about the parts. So we're going to annotate this drawing. So we're going to go to the Annotate tab and go to the parts list on the table panel. Click there. We're going to select a document. So here we're going to select the assembly that was the input to this presentation, or the presentation that has since been inserted into this drawing file. And we're going to click OK, and we've got it right there. Now when you do this, you may get a pop-up window, which I didn't get because I've already done this once, so the system knows that I clicked OK to this pop-up window. Just click OK to that pop-up window, you'll see it. Now we want to get rid of description here. The way to do that is to double-click on the description word, come up here to description, right-click, column width, just set it to 0. That's kind of a kludgy way to do that, but it works. And then we'll want to modify the width of these components so that it's reasonable in terms of how big it has to be. So that looks pretty good. Almost done. So we have our parts list. So this is item 1, 2, 3. What does that mean? Well, the balloon tells us which is which. So I'm going to click here, pull out, left click, right click, OK. So that is 2, the wedge screw. Okay, that makes sense. That was consistent. Left click, right click, OK. That's number 3, the wedge. And finally, the base. So there we have it. There is the assembly drawing. And I'm going to save that. Save it there. I've already done this once before, as I mentioned, so I'm just going to write over it. Okay, so there we have it. It's an IDW, which we know that is not transportable. So I'm going to come to the big I, export PDF, and export it. Of course, I've done it already before, so it's there, but I'm going to write over it and create a new one. There it is, and in all its glory. And this is a very simple assembly, but you can see how it's pretty clear what is what, and so this is a nice way to present a part. So this is what you will be submitting on School Loop. So good luck.